A very good afternoon. Welcome back to Les Sables d'Olonne. It is December the 23rd, just 2 days to go until Christmas. A huge sense of anticipation on the racecourse at the front of the fleet, and not just because Santa Claus is appearing on the tracker. Watch out for Santa Claus, but watch out for Yoann Richomme and Charlie Dalin going round Cape Horn. The leaders are set to have a brisk rounding of Cape Horn this evening. Charlie Dalin has a tiny little lead, but both are very, very close together. Seb Simon, meantime, is about 450 miles behind. He looks like he'll have the rougher, tougher rounding in third place, but it's not all about big wins and Cape Horn. This was Tanguy Le Turquet last night. He's had less than 5 knots of wind, and you can see that trace has had so little wind, hardly been able to keep moving. So that's been a tough time for the boats in that barometric call, it's called. Meantime, our guest today in the studio, we have Tom Dolan from Ireland, the first international skipper in 36 years, I think, to win Le Solitaire du Figaro this summer. Our regular guest every Monday is Will Harris, who's looking forward to his first Christmas as a dad. Will, how are you?
Yeah, very well, Andy. Good to be back in England.
And Stephane Neve, who's the project manager for Paprec's projects. Stephane, how are you? You're looking a little bit chilly there.
Yeah, it's a bit cold here, but it's everything is fine.
Good for you. Anyway, first of all, let's start with Tom. Tom, what's it been like? What's life been like since winning Le Solitaire? Has it made a big difference in terms of your prospects?
It's been fairly busy, Andy, to be honest. I've been moving. I haven't stopped moving since the race stopped. It's been good on prospects because I've got quite a few phone calls off some people to go sailing with them, so it's been incredible, yeah.
It's made a big difference.
It has indeed.
Hopefully the platform to get you onto the start line for the Vendée Globe, but I believe that we do have Yoann Richomme joining us live. Yoann, how are you?
I'm good at you, Andy.
What's your plans for Christmas, Yoann?
Not ending up on the rocks.
But it's a fantastic situation crossing Cape Horn with your #1 rival close behind, hopefully.
It doesn't sound like it. Sounds like he's going to be in front. We'll see. But yeah, no, it's a great moment. You know, when I was planning the race, I did a road book and I looked at it and I said, okay, if we're ahead of the record, we should be at the Horn by Christmas. And well, there we are. It's not even Christmas, and we're going to be rounding it.
And what are conditions going to be like going round Cape Horn for you?
I think they're going to get stronger, up to 40 knot gust, I think. But I don't know. The wind isn't that strong. It's you know, it's just going to be maybe a bit gusty going around Cape Horn and stuff, and then it's going to become a bit more quiet afterwards. Right after Cape Horn, it should be pretty light, and then we're going to slowly head into the Atlantic.
Tell us about your dream to pass Cape Horn. How long have you been dreaming about that? Since you were a kid, one would imagine.
Well, you never know that, do you? Yeah, no, it's been a long time. I don't know. Yeah, for sure, following all the different races, and you know, it's I don't know. It's a very well-known passage, and it's something we, you know, I don't even know if I dream of it. I think I dreamt of actually rounding it in this race. That meant, you know, nearly finishing the race, and you know, it's a milestone for us. Now we're gonna head back north from now on, and that's a great moment I want to, you know, remember.
Fantastic. Now listen, we've got Stephane Neve with us, who's in Baqueira in Spain. He's going to say a quick hello to you.
Hello, Andy. And hello to Yoann. I'm pleased to see him.
Can you hear him?
No, I could not hear Yoann, but I was just saying I'm pleased to see him. He looks very...
Go on, Stephane. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was just saying that Yoann looks in very good shape. I'm very pleased to see him like this after so many days at sea.
Sounds like a lovely holiday with the kids he's having.
Yeah, 2 kids around, yeah. I guess the temperatures must be about the same as what you have.
But you and the other person we have with us is Tom Dolan, who of course won Le Solitaire this year. Maybe you could have a quick word with Tom and tell him what the next step for him should be.
Like I know what to do. Yeah, well, Tom, I don't even think I saw you since the win on the Solitaire. Huh? So, I don't know, good job, obviously. Pretty great event to win, and it's one of the events that will, put you on the map. And when you meet a sponsor who knows about sailing, they'll always know about the Solitaire. So, I hope you can find, if you wish to do this race, I hope you can find the money in one day, because it's one hell of a thing. But the one thing I can tell you is I'm happy I'm 40 years old to do it, and not 25. Because it's one hell of a race, and you need to be very complete, and be very good, at everything. From knowing the boat to sailing to being mentally prepared and stuff. So, it's going well for me, so it's all good. But it can be a tough race, I guess. And I think we got it easy as well in the Southern Ocean. I mean, we only got one storm in the Indian Ocean, so I don't think I lived it like most people live it.
Thank you, Yoann. I think it's the first time I've ever spoken to you in English, so I'll speak slowly. And I've realized maybe you speak better English than I do. But no, you had an easy Indian because you sailed so quickly, so fast. It's been incredible watching you. I remember I first watched you and Charlie when you were Massif both in the Figaro, the year that you won almost everything. And it was very inspirational, so keep it up. It's been great to watch the match that there is between both of you. We're all on land rooting you every day and to see who will be ahead when. I think there's going to be a great match, not only strategic but tactique, and the rest of the Atlantic. And keep our lit, keep going. Well done, Yoann. Bravo. Happy Christmas.
Thank you. I hear you have a bit of an accent, no? Yeah, it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a great fight with Charlie all the way back. I mean, to be fair, I think it's more his territory, this sail back up the Atlantic. He's got a eyes for that kind of sailing, but I'll try and give him a hard time as much as I can. And it's a long race. A lot of things can happen.
Fantastic. Yoann, are you going to have time to celebrate Christmas, open a few presents, or is it too full on?
Oh, can you say that again, Andy?
I'm just saying, will you have time to celebrate Christmas at Cape Horn?
Well, I hope so. I mean, technically it's the night, isn't it? Because this is going to be the night of the 23rd, so Christmas is on the night of the 24th. I think we'll have time. I've got a few presents to open. I hope it's food.
Fantastic. Yoann, a pleasure as always. Merry Christmas to you when it comes. Enjoy Cape Horn, and hopefully you're in front.
See you guys. See you. Talk to you soon.
Bon board.
So there we go, Yoann Richomme on board Paprec Arkea. Stephane, talk to us about Yoann. What's been the revelation about his race that you didn't expect, perhaps?
I mean, we are not so surprised because we were quite confident when choosing Yoann as a skipper for our project. We know that Yoann is very strong in his head. He's a very good sailor. I had the chance to do a few races with him, and he had a lot of knowledge. So, I mean, we are not surprised. I think we have a good boat and we have a good skipper, so everything is together. The only thing that is missing to Yoann is the experience of the south. But after the Indian Ocean and the Pacific, we can see that he's having everything to do a good job. So we were quite confident, maybe too much. But I mean, we are quite happy. I mean, we are really happy of what Yoann is doing, and happy that he's enjoying the race.
And meantime, Paprec have got a pathway which really goes from the Transat Paprec through La Solitaire, which Tom won, into the Vendée Globe. It's an exciting and important pathway.
Yeah, I mean, Paprec is involved since 2001 in sailing. We start sponsoring a boat in 2001, and we help also clubs with foiling small boats. So we go from dinghies to Vendée Globe skippers. So we are very happy about what we are doing to help skippers to promote this fantastic sport and also to promote the image of our company.
And obviously, the Transat Paprec is the kind of first stage, if you like, this double-handed race across the Atlantic.
Yeah. It's and also we thought it was very important to have this new configuration with a woman and a man for the Transat Paprec, and it was not so good as expected last year, but we'll see that for the next Transat in 2025 we will have much more skippers, so it's a good progress.
Thanks, Stephane. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy your skiing.
Thank you, Andy.
All the best, Stephane.
All the best to you. Bye.
So good to hear from Yoann then, with some solid advice in terms of being the all-round sailor.
Yes, definitely, yeah. And I suppose what is very impressive with Yoann is how he seems to manage the boat, and also how he manages his head. When Charlie, was it a week or so ago, when Charlie kind of made the big break, staying in front of that low-pressure system, and Yoann kind of was forced by the timing of the arrival of the low-pressure system to kind of play it safe and go north. Could have been a time where a lot of people might have said, damn it, he's gone. But he showed great mental strength and great management of the boat to be able to push hard. And he got a bit lucky because Charlie broke his sail. But it just shows the strength of how he is. And
but that was something you worked on specifically to win the La Solitaire.
I did, yeah. I suppose I did indeed. The big thing about our racing, including the Vendée Globe, is that we're on our own. So if you need a fairly bulletproof toolkit in your head and on board to be able to manage problems, which, for example, your close competitor, sailing 600 miles ahead of you, is quite a big problem from where I are. So no, Yoann showed great strength and great mental management, as boat management as well, on that part of the race.
Now, watching all this race close up, does this make you more inspired or a little bit more worried about doing it?
No, it definitely makes me more inspired. It's not the first time I followed the Vendée Globe, but it's the first time I've actually been involved in it, whereas I have the same computer system on board that they have. I have a Drena with the positions, and I'm routing regularly and actually looking at strategy. And it's the first time I'm actually thinking, if I was him, I would do this or I'd do that. So I've people talk a lot about the boats and the difference between the boats, and I think with this prototype sort of racing, it's fairly natural. But what's impressed me a lot is actually how much it plays on strategy and position. For example, Charlie, who's at the moment a bit further south, it was fairly good call.
I'm going to go to Will Harris with that, the kind of the opposite of that point, if you like. Will, what's going to be the key in terms of design coming up the Atlantic, the differences, the strengths and weaknesses of the two boats?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see Yoann there. One of Yoann's real strengths in the south has been his choice of design and the boat there. And he's got a really nice setup. He's nice and protected inside there, and he's got a fantastic view forward. He can always be looking forward in the boat. So I think in the south he's got a really nicely suited and nicely designed boat for it. And like he was saying there, Massif, Charlie's boat, is a little bit more specific for the less wavy areas, for the flatter water conditions, and in particularly the reaching and the sort of more upwind angles. He's definitely a bit stronger. So I think he's going to have to look out for Charlie in that sense. But that being said, these two have raced against each other very closely for a long time, and Yoann's won a lot of the Transat solo races. So I think it's just going to be a fantastic fight, and they're going to have to play to their strengths and try and hold on where they know it's going to be their weaknesses.
So you're saying that Charlie's boat might be stronger in the Atlantic, do we feel?
Yeah, I think generally it's got much less rocker in the Massif boat, so it's a very flat hull. It means it's much more suited to sort of wanting to take off and lift off the water early. Our Kia Paprec is a little bit more rounded hull. It's got a bit more rocker, and it just tends to make it a little bit harder to come off the water, and has a slightly less powerful hull shape. So in the reaching, I think reaching an upwind where you're really looking for that righting moment, that more effort to sort of bring the boat flat and being able to sort of trim the sails on more and have more power, then Massif's definitely a little bit stronger there. But that being said, anything can happen in the Atlantic. If we look at the last Vendée Globe, there was 1,000 miles between the top 5 boats as they went around Cape Horn, and by the time they got to the equator, there was less than 50 miles, I think, between the first 5 boats. So we could see anything happen from this point. There could be a restart. There could be another big weather system. They could have, you can easily get some really strong winds in the South Atlantic still, and especially coming back up the North Atlantic as well. It's definitely not over in terms of tough weather conditions yet. So we have to see.
Absolutely. Now then, Charlie Dalin has led at 2 of the Great Capes so far. He obviously wants to lead at Cape Horn, and that was the case on the last race. He led at 2 Capes and was passed by, it was Yannick Bestaven who led. So it's Charlie Dalin's looking for the Cape hat trick, and this was Charlie earlier on today.
Yeah. I do feel the excitement of sailing close to Cape Horn. I've been tackling a virtual cycle for days now, which is the ice zone. Now I'm going to face a real cycle, which is a hard land. I haven't seen land for quite a while now, so it's gonna be like Fernando de Noronha.
Wow.
Last time I've seen land, so it's gonna be good to see Cape Horn in daylight. Last night, this night is a bit hard because I'm thinking about my course around Cape Horn, and an anticipation of seeing land once we're through. Then we've got some. So we have some fairly strong wind. Well, not that strong compared to what you can get in Cape Horn, but we'll probably have a gust of 35. Gust of 30, 35 as we run Cape Horn. Sea state should be okay though. But we'll have a bit of acceleration. The acceleration should start like 5 or 6 hours before we reach Cape Horn.
Yesterday, Nico Lundven talked about his relationship with Jeremy Bayou and said it was like a love story. I wondered what your relationship with Yoann is.
We crossed the Pacific together, and definitely my number one rival. And I think we're gonna be probably seeing a bit more of each other sailing up the Atlantic. And I really Yoann is a friend. I really appreciate him. We've done we sailed together for the first time. That was in 2005, I think. So nearly 20 years ago. And we've worked super massive together. 2 years, and yeah, I appreciate him. Yeah, he's a friend, very good friend, and he's also a fierce competitor. So I'm both happy to be head against him, but also not happy because I know he's a tough competitor.
He is indeed a tough competitor. Tom, it's so even between the two. What's your view on the Dalin Richomme match?
Generally speaking, I don't know who I could say is better. It's been such a tight battle between them for years and years and years. I know Charlie never actually won the Solitaire du Figaro, but he's done so many podiums and won so many other races.
He got 4 podiums, I think.
Yeah, we could give it to him, you know. I'm not going to give him that. Their actual position, if I was to put money, I said in the French thing, I'd probably, just because he's further south, there's a little bit more bend in the isobars I can see. I'd say I'd probably see Charlie going past Cape Horn first, and then in the Atlantic, the both of them are such good sailors. The wind is looking very shifty. I honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to call it.
You're glued to the tracker the whole time.
Oh, yeah, it's good. It's passionate, whatever. Yeah, it's like all his been with those two. Sorry.
Anyway, Clarice Kramer has had it tough recently, as indeed has Sam Davis. They're quite close together. Sam yesterday spoke about her motivation. Obviously, she had a word for Pip Hare. Also, the fact that she was abandoned on the last race 4 years ago, and also she's super motivated for the kids that she helps through her charity. But not the same for Clarice, and she's been finding it quite tough. But also, she's got a routing that takes her quite far to the north.
The way to Cape Horn is doesn't look very nice. We'll have to go quite more north than the group ahead of us. Once more, we are not being so lucky. Yeah, probably around 300 miles north, more north than what they do. So a bit of a longer route. That's how it is. And but it's the Cape Horn is a bit too far away. If I'm lucky, I should be able to cross Cape Horn on the 1st of January. That would be a very nice present for the new year coming, but I'm trying not to be too optimistic. I'm just focusing on the next few hours and days.
We're looking at the weather now, just mainly focused on the approach to Cape Horn for the top 2 boats, and then this group of 7 or 8 boats behind that, and also Seb Simon. Starting off with the leaders, well, they have a fairly straightforward run in this northwesterly breeze, although we're hearing from the skippers they're going to see 30 to 35 knots at the Cape. But they're also looking at this area of high pressure, just this little ridge here, which is going to affect them after they come round. So they're starting to think about the strategy in the very early parts of the South Atlantic as they get round Cape Horn. But otherwise, a fairly close rounding. This stronger winds for Sébastien Simon coming in stronger northwesterly, but the sea state will be what will concern him more. Couple of jibes for him, but then the group behind coming in behind this system, so their biggest problem really is the sea state, but it's going to be fairly close for them, still quite compact for them, but as I say, the sea state is their biggest worry coming in behind this low pressure system. So that's the situation for the top group of 10 boats. Now looking a little bit more at the second half of the fleet, what we call this is as a barometric call. So this is a big area of high pressure, which is causing very, very light winds for this group. Starting off, sorry, we're just going to run this from the beginning. So this is Louis Duc down here. Conrad Coleman up more in the north, trying to find a route towards New Zealand. But very light breezes down under Tasmania, between Tasmania and New Zealand. So it's really trying to find a way through this, what the options are. But at the moment, it's quite light winds. Let's say Conrad Coleman trying for the northerly route, but overall, quite a difficult phase for these boats towards the back of the fleet at the moment. So, Will Harris, what are we seeing in the South Atlantic for the top 3 boats? And is there a chance for some compression further up with this group behind, which I think is about 1,000 miles behind?
Yeah, I think looking at Cape Horn and that first bit when Charlie Charlie and Yoann go around, they're definitely going to be glued to each other those first few days. They're almost kind of waiting for the weather system behind to sort of start pushing them up north, up the Atlantic, because it's a really light wind, high pressure situation there. Maybe even a chance for Seb to catch some miles on them, but I think really at the moment that sort of second group from 4th to 10th place is about 12 to 1,500 miles behind. So it's really a long way for them, and I think they're going to have to wait for much further up the Atlantic to have any sort of chance there. So Charlie and Yoann are probably going to be within a couple of miles of each other for the first 1,000 miles or so of the South Atlantic. So they're going to have a friend next to them, I guess.
What about the German diesel? How is he?
Boris is definitely in the fight there. It's been great to see him slowly work his way up the leaderboard and nicely into the top 10 now. But I think for this second group, they've got a really good fight coming up. They're all bunched nicely together, and so far the South Pacific has really been it's sort of played to the advantage of the boats behind. They've always seemed to have the weather system sort of pushing them up towards Thomas and towards Nico and Jeremy. The likes of Justine sort of being the cut-off line there between her and Sam Davies and Clarice, who are now sort of another 1,500 miles behind. So I think this group of 4th to 10th place, they're going to have a really good fight up the Atlantic. But obviously their goal at the moment is getting around Cape Horn safely. I think Seb Simon looks like he's going to be in a pretty gnarly conditions for Cape Horn, and he'll probably have the toughest of it. And I think it's also been really impressive to see how he sailed this race, missing a foil and really able to showing he can still push the boat and is still really fighting to cling on to that 3rd place.
Indeed. So now then, one thing which is consistent is the cold, and some skippers are having to adapt to try and stay warm. This is Benjamin Dutroux and Paul Mea.
Voilà, magnifique couleur, le lever de soleil. On sera dans le poteau noir, sauf qu'il fait plutôt 0 degré. Voilà, ça caille. Là, on commence à descendre bien sud et ça commence à cailler dur. Il fait bien froid et j'ai le droit à quelques extras quand même, offerts par ma belle-sœur l'année dernière à Noël. Faut que j'utilise quand même. Un caleçon polaire, s'il vous plaît. Et puis la petite mention spéciale aussi. Hop, le petit cache-colle tricoté par ma grand-mère. Voilà. Et ça c'est le petit plus.
So the standings as of midday today, well, still only a couple of miles between the top two, more or less approaching Cape Horn side by side. Yoann Richomme and Charlie Dalin. Charlie Dalin on top just now, but it's only 2 or 3 miles in it. Sebastian Simon now 450 miles behind. Then this second group from 4th to 12th or 13th, there's about 400 miles between Rion and Justine Metro in 11th, Sam Goodchild still in 10th, Boris in 7th, having passed Yannick Bestaven again. There's about 20 odd miles between these two at the moment. Running through the standings though, Isabel Joschke in 17th, going nicely, Giancarlo Padotti in 19th, Alan Rura 20th from Switzerland. Conrad Coleman in 27th, as we saw on the tracker, going quite nicely in terms of his routing towards New Zealand, or towards New Zealand waters anyway. Oliver here in 31st, Jin Kun Chu sailing a fantastic race, certainly very brave and able to sail down in the low pressures. He's rewarded with 33rd place at the moment. Denny van Winberg in 36th. And he is, as we saw yesterday, on the very, very opposite meridian on the world from the leader, so 180 degrees on the other side of the world. So that's the standings as at midday. So indeed, nothing in it at the top. So thank you so much, Will. How are you looking forward to your first Christmas as a dad?
Yeah, it's very good. Good to be back here, and great to see some of these boats going around Cape Horn already. I hope we're going to break the record this time.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. So thanks, Will. We'll see you after Christmas. Meantime, Tom, tell us about your plans for the Vendée Globe. Where are you in real terms?
At the moment, I've been running around with a nice fancy suit on, having lots and plenty of meetings. So really, at the beginning of it all, the boats are incredible. Look, they cost a lot of money, so I've been busy on the hunt for sponsorship. So that's what.
How's it going?
It's going okay. Great meetings, but nothing in the bank yet.
Nothing in the bank yet.
No, I haven't found a good bank either. So.
And going back to the Solitaire again next year?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to go back and defend my title. Hasn't been done for a while, so could be good. Could be going to be difficult anyway, but I love it. So why change?
Well, here's hoping, fingers crossed for you. So that's all we have time for today. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place. And we're going to leave you, as ever, with the little bit of excitement. This Chinese skipper, Jin Kun Chu, is really inspiring me. He's really so brave, indefatigable and indestructible. And this is Jin Kun Chu with his special panda.
给大家看看我的好朋友小熊猫，这只熊猫伴随我航行过咖啡路的比赛，然后现在正在跟我一起进行忘带的环体帆船赛。这只小熊猫是海南的海口野生动植物园的尚园长送给我的，我的大姐送给我的。我特别喜欢这只小熊猫，所以我航行到哪里我都带着它，给大家看一看，特别可爱。每次在海上遇到风暴、孤独、恐惧的时候，我都会看看它，对我觉得有一个非常好的伙伴在海上。小家伙，我们闯过来了，我们现在已经快航行过半了，马上我就回家了，好不好？耶！给大家见个面，来亲亲。